So let me start with these scrolls. Okay, so we've been talking about The Greatest Salesman in the World by Ogmandino, which is about 10 invaluable scrolls which contain priceless wisdom. Wisdom that built trade empires and created the greatest salesman in the world. And we know that one of the most effective things you can do to become a better salesman is to become a better person. And this is really what the scrolls is about, because each of the 10 scrolls contains an affirmation or a promise that you make to yourself, along with powerful words of wisdom that will alter and transform your life. Last week, we listened to scroll 8. But remember, the first scroll is the most important. It contains the secret given to only a handful of men. It teaches what is the most effective way to learn what is in the other scrolls. So if you are following the secret in scroll 1, you may be just finishing scroll 1 if you have to, repeat again because you haven't gone through it 3 times a day. I've just finished scroll 1. Okay, I'm in my 3rd day of scroll 2. Okay, and I'm missing scroll 1 still because I love it so much. Okay, so quite a few of us should be already in scroll 2. I know which one is Sue, Jeff, okay, and maybe Amos as well. Okay, and of course Ruth. So meanwhile, I'm going to go on to reveal the next scroll, scroll 9. Okay, so there are only 10 scrolls. Very sad, we're going to come to the end of this, but good news is that you are still practicing, okay, the scrolls. 30 days for each scroll. Okay, so let me let you hear Ogmandino's word himself on scroll 9. Let me share my screen.
The scroll marked 9. My dreams are worthless. My plans are dust. My goals are impossible. All are of no value unless they are followed by action. I will act now. Never has there been a map, however carefully executed to detail and scale, which carried its owner over even 1 inch of ground. Never has there been a parchment of law, however fair, which prevented 1 crime. Never has there been a scroll, even such as the one I hold, which earned so much as a penny, or produced a single word of acclamation. Action alone is the tinder which ignites the map, the parchment, this scroll, my dreams, my plans, my goals into a living force. Action is the food and drink which will nourish my success. I will act now. My procrastination which has held me back was born of fear, and now I recognize this secret mind from the depths of all courageous hearts. Now I know that to conquer fear, I must always act without hesitation, and the flutters in my heart will vanish. Now I know that action reduces the lion of terror to an ant of equanimity. I will act now. Henceforth I will remember the lesson of the firefly, who gives off its light only when it is on the wing, only when it is in action. I will become a firefly, and even in the day my glow will be seen in spite of the sun. Let others be as butterflies, who preen their wings, yet depend on the charity of a flower for life. I will be as the firefly, and my light will brighten the world. I will act now. I will not avoid the tasks of today and charge them to tomorrow, for I know that tomorrow never comes. Let me act now, even though my actions may not bring happiness or success, for it is better to act and fail than not to act and flounder. Happiness and truth may not be the fruit plucked by my action, yet without action all fruit will die on the vine. I will act now. I will act now. I will act now. I will act now. Henceforth I will repeat these words again and again and again, each hour, each day, every day, until the words become as much a habit as my breathing, and the actions which follow become as instinctive as the blinking of my eyelids. With these words I can condition my mind to perform every act necessary for my success. With these words I can condition my mind to meet every challenge which the failure avoids. I will act now. I will repeat these words again and again and again. When I awake, I will say them and leap from my cot while the failure sleeps yet another hour. I will act now. When I enter the marketplace, I will say them and immediately confront my first prospect while the failure ponders yet his possibility of rebuff. I will act now. When I face a closed door, I will say them and knock while the failure waits outside with fear and trepidation. I will act now. When I face temptation, I will say them and immediately act to remove myself from evil. I will act now. When I am tempted to quit and begin again tomorrow, I will say them and immediately act to consummate another sale. I will act now. Only action determines my value in the marketplace, and to multiply my value, I will multiply my actions. I will walk where the failure fears to walk, and I will work when the failure seeks rest. I will talk when the failure remains silent. I will call on 10 who can buy my goods, while the failure makes grand plans to call on one. I will say it is done before the failure says it is too late. I will act now, for now is all I have. Tomorrow is the day reserved for the labor of the lazy. I am not lazy. Tomorrow is the day when the evil becomes good. I am not evil. Tomorrow is the day when the weak become strong. I am not weak. Tomorrow is the day when the failure will succeed. I am not a failure. I will act now. When the lion is hungry, he eats. When the eagle has thirst, he drinks. Lest they act, both will perish. I hunger for success. I thirst for happiness and peace of mind. Lest I act, I will perish in a life of failure, misery, and sleepless nights. I will command, and I will obey mine own command. I will act now. Success will not wait. If I delay, she will become betrothed to another and lost to me forever. This is the time. This is the place. I am the man. I will act now.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so how would you react if someone comes up to you and says, I am the man, and you know this is a man who always acts now? Will you follow him? Will you follow her? And if you were that kind of a person, would people follow you? What a powerful scroll this is, isn't it? Well, let me say that those of you who are now watching me live, you are practicing scroll 9. Okay, you actually acted now to tune in. You had to. There were so many things in your life. Okay, but you're also practicing scroll 1. This is becoming a habit. Okay, so it's less of a struggle when it's a habit. And I dare say, sorry, I'm familiar with scroll 1 and 2 only now because I'm just doing them consistently. And this is also scroll 2 because I know some of you are here simply out of love for another team player, here to support another team player. Because you could easily watch this in replay, but you decided you're going to come here because you're going to support it. That's practicing scroll 2. Now, we talked about habit. Okay, a mentor, very dear mentor of mine, had this phrase, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if I'm not creating a habit to act now, what am I doing? I'm creating a habit, a bad habit of procrastination. And this scroll says, tomorrow never comes. You procrastinate, always say tomorrow will never come. That's not a habit you want to develop at all. Okay, so to counter that bad habit, you have to have this new good habit of starting now. Now you look at this GPS. We used to have maps, okay, but even maps, but the GPS is a wonderful invention, isn't it? You wonder how come it can just direct you and tell you where the traffic lights are, where the police are, where the traffic jam is. But you know what's the first thing you need to do in order to use it, for it to work, for you to get going? You have to press start. So you heard me say that there are two bookends to success, starting and finishing. Okay, starting is acting now. Simply as that. Okay, that bookend of finish could be near, it could be far. Some of us are doing things where, yesterday I shared about John Maxwell. He says there is no finish line when you're playing for eternity. Okay. But it's obviously very difficult to act now. I mean, those of you who've tried network marketing, you see the number of people who can't start, who drop out, okay? Because there's this lion of terror, there is fear and trepidation that Ogmandino talks about. It's very, very real. It's really so difficult to act now. And that is why teamwork is so important, okay? Teamwork is so important. When there's a team, someone courageous or two equally frightened people but willing to go together, it makes acting now much easier. In fact, for many people, it makes it even possible. And as you act and do more and more, it becomes easier and easier until it becomes actually pleasurable, as we see in scroll 1. Okay, so some thoughts on this, but let me just repeat some of what stood out to me in scroll 9. I will act now. Only action determines my value in the marketplace. And to multiply my value, I will multiply my actions. I will walk where the failures fear to walk. I will cast away the fear which causes procrastination. And I will do this by boldly taking action. I will act now because it is better to act and fail than to freeze and stagnate. I will act now. I will say these words when I wake up, before I sleep, when I fail, and when I succeed. I will act now. I will act now. I will act now. Henceforth, I will repeat these words again and again and again, each hour, each day, every day, until the words become as much a habit as my breathing, and the actions which follow become as instinctive as the blinking of my eyelids. I will command and I will obey my own command. That's why we do declarations. Okay. But we declare ourselves, and once I declare out myself, it's so powerful because I will command and I will obey my own command because I will act now. Now is my time for success. Success will not wait. I will act now. I will act now. I will act now. Next week, I will share the final scroll, okay, scroll 10. But remember the secret of scroll 1. I will read each scroll for 30 consecutive days and in this manner. First, I will read the words in silence when I wake up. Second, I will read the words in silence at noon. And finally, and most importantly, I will read the words at night before I go to sleep. And I will read them aloud. I will do this each day for 30 days, then move on to the next scroll. Okay, so, I whetted appetite for the scrolls to come. Okay, do this.